The college basketball experience pregame show for Monday, November the 11th edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with that promo code TCESGPN to get a 50% deposit up to $1,000. That is the Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and NFL. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience pregame show. Happy Veterans Day, November the 11th. I guess unless you're an Air Force Falcon, because that was pathetic watching that show up on Veterans Day. I don't even know how you don't show up on Veterans Day. Hopefully the Citadel comes through a little bit more than Air Force did. Colby, I'm sure, will have his updated power rankings with LIU in the national championship later tonight. Yeah. So, but first, we're going to talk about it. We got a loaded slate here tonight. Reminder, everybody, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and make sure you throw your thoughts on a game or you want a game covered that isn't on the left-hand side in the chat. But first off, introductions. I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Also known as Mac tonight over here at the College Experience. And you got the crew back. It's the weekend's in the books, and we're ready to dive back into this slate. First up, this guy is, he's on the Big 12 College Experience with myself. He is the Big 12 guru, a.k.a. the Green Mowing Weed Growing, Troy Chewning. What is up, Mr. Messiah?
Our angle on the Auburn having to turn their flight around because they were fighting really ate shit.
Yeah.
Man, at least Baylor looked okay and kind of turned it around a bit, looking all right against Arkansas. But, pretty crazy weekend. 1 point Commanders loss. We got the Caps get beat by the Pens when the Pens stink, but then they go win 8-1. Just a bunch of weird shit going on this weekend.
Yeah, I will say
Sharks too, starting off today.
They made it sound like it was more impactful guys on Auburn that were going to be out. Those fucking guys that were out didn't even fucking play. So it honestly was a rallying cry. So, but hey, third man in the box. You guys know him as the Underdog Fantasy Guru because he's writing daily articles over there at the Sports Gambling Podcast. He is Matt Dewaskin, a.k.a. Cannabis Capper. Cap, what's going on, brother?
Mac, it's good to be back. Slide into week 2 here for the college basketball season. Life is still good.
Life is so good. And, I was thinking about it. I was breaking down my record for week 1, and I was like, it was a winning week. And I go, what the best part is? We got 20 more weeks of this thing. So this is like, if you just love to gamble, this is by far the best sport.
Oh, without question.
With the volume of games every single night. Absolutely fantastic. Any thoughts before we get into the slate as I pull up the odds? Troy, I know you mentioned it. The Big 12 goes 1-1 in those showcase games with the SEC. Anything else that caught your mind over the weekend?
North Florida's for real.
Them in Long Island National Championship.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, the Long Island North Florida National Title game.
Yeah, how about Arizona State hanging with Gonzaga way more than Baylor did by quite a bit?
Yeah. Did you guys catch me and Noah Beanick's debate on that spread? We were completely on opposite sides. I was adamant that Arizona State was going to keep it within the number and that it was completely disrespectful to give a Big 12 team 20-plus points. But, yeah, hopefully we get a couple of those other lines. Cap, how about you? Anything else besides just North Florida? They'll never lose again, except maybe tomorrow against Georgia.
North Florida may never lose again. DePaul may never win again.
Well, hey, stay tuned. DePaul's on the slate here tonight. So
yeah, and that line's moving too. It's moving as we're talking.
Where's it at now?
8.5.
Oh, yeah.
It's mercy.
I also want to say I feel pretty good about laying the Ryan Kalkbrenner at 40-1 to win Naismith's Player of the Year has dropped pretty significantly after a 40-point double-double, and then
that's right. Yeah, he went off
24, 6 and 3 yesterday. So again, it kind of plays into that Zach Edey role where he's not necessarily the best player, but the volume that he's going to get on that team is going to make his stats look awesome.
Dude, Kalkbrenner's, I fucking love Kalkbrenner. I'm so glad he's back. So, one other game in action right now. The Citadel is leading 15-9 early against Stetson. Ohio State and
10-2 right now.
Yeah, Youngstown. Who's up 10-2?
Ohio State is.
Buckeyes are up 10-2. And then I think we got a bunch of 6:30 games tipping off here. What's the first 6:30 game? Oh, no. There's no 6:30 games tonight. It's all 7 o'clock. So let's get into it. Perfect transition into a team that we all fucking hate, and that is the Butler Bulldogs, because they never come through for us on this show. Last night we picked it. I think it was 16.5 as I go over. There we go. Look at that little bad boy. Butler's laying 17.5, so tick up. I'm going to use the same handicap guys as I used for Villanova on Friday night. It's like at some point you got to nut up and show the fuck up here and have some pride. I think they win by 20 plus tonight, just like Villanova did on Friday night. I'll lay it with Butler. Troy, how about you?
If you're worried about Butler coming through, you can take the 10.5 in the first half. I do think, after the Austin Peay debacle, that Hinkle will be pretty jacked up. The one funny stat I saw was that they're 71-4 in their last 75 non-cons at Hinkle, but one of those just happened to Austin Peay. So I think my favorite bet in this one is what is the under still at right now?
The game total?
Yeah.
The game total is at 149. Woo!
I think my favorite is to play that under just because Western Michigan's bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I mean,
the simple handicap is I think Western Michigan's bad, so under.
If you're getting 17.5 against Butler, you're bad. So, Cap, what's your handicap on this one?
Okay, we just saw Butler lose to Austin Peay. Austin Peay has a guy with one arm on the roster. And he had 3 rebounds.
What's great is that means that like the overall
I can't bet money on a team that just lost to a team that has a guy with one arm. Give me the points in Western Michigan. No leans here.
Oh yeah, they're finding people in this company now. Don't use that fucking L word. So
yeah, I was gonna say I think the funniest part about that statistic is that means that throughout all of NCAA, the average amount of arms per player is like 1.998.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Shout out to the chat. Reminder, guys, throw some games in there that you want talked about that you don't see on the left-hand side. We'll break down each game. This game I'm fascinated by. Jacksonville Furman. This game, I believe we picked it at 8.5 last night. It is staying steady at 8.5. Furman off the big Belmont win. We were all on that on Friday night on the pregame show then. I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot, man. I think Mincy and Jacksonville, I think they hung in with Florida. Just Florida has can really go, and they're a tough bye game matchup with their athletes and guards that are explosive. I like Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville, the Dolphins are live in this game, to be honest. So give me 8.5. I think it's a good price. Give me the Dolphins to swim high here in Furman.
Yeah. Do you think the letdown spot for Furman happens later in the game? Because their first 2 games, they've come out really, really hot. And I know that it's not the greatest competition, but they've come out kind of on fire. And I was kind of afraid to lay the number here, but I'm not really afraid of the 4.5 in the first half. Like maybe Furman comes out on fire and can't really follow through. just because Jacksonville is like 2-9 against the spread in the first half in their last 11 games. So I was thinking maybe Furman comes out hot. Again, definitely has a little bit of a letdown spot for them. I don't know if they follow through all the way and cover, but I would feel kind of comfortable taking the 4.5 in the first half with Furman.
Okay. We just watched Furman struggle with Belmont, and we just watched Jacksonville kind of get big brother, little brother game with Florida. They hung with them though.
Florida dressed the score up
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, in that Furman game too, they did lead by 8 at halftime. They just kind of barely held on coming down the stretch against Belmont. So
that is a good win. Belmont's not bad. I just
no.
8.5's a lot. 8.5's a lot of points to lay, I think, here.
I swim with the Dolphins. Give me the 8.5.
Okay. So 3 across on the Dolphins.
No snorkeling. Dive in.
Swimming. We're swimming over here. All right. Let's get on over to whoa. There we go.
Blackout. Max blacked out.
Yeah, I'm blacked out over here. We're going to talk about ourselves. So, guys, get on over there right now. Even if you don't listen to us on Apple or Spotify, go over to Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. We just cracked the top 50 among all sports, and we're top 50 is nice, it's cute and all, but we're like North Florida. We're trying to break down that fucking door and get into the top 15, get into the top 10, top 5, and then ultimately be number 1. So get on over there, leave a 5-star review, and we will continue to bring you more and more content. We released our first top 25 breakdown video. We added this pregame show. We got many other ideas, but the only way to continue to add to this show is by growing the channel, by leaving a 5-star review over at Apple and Spotify, and also subscribing on youtube.com/The College Experience. It goes a long way. I know it takes a couple seconds. Help us help you. Tell a friend, tell a couple friends, tell your mom, tell your cousin, tell whoever, bring 10 friends, and we will continue to bring you more and more content and help us beat corporate gambling from taking over today. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, baby. Promo code right above Troy's head, TCESGPN, to get your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Our Underdog Fantasy promo code again, TCESGPN. And I yield to our experts here over on Underdog. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking spilling shit left and right. First up on the dock, let's go to Cap first for the first Underdog entry. Let's build a bad boy out here tonight, baby.
Okay, I got an angle here I'm looking at Yale Purdue.
Okay.
They had listed Jakari Harris for Purdue.
Yep.
Have him listed 2.5 rebounds. Okay. We're gonna go lower.
Oh, Jakari Harris lower. 2.5.
Thought process is number one, he's a freshman who's kind of worked his way. He's played 20 minutes in each of the first 2 games, and I don't think he's going to get near that usage rate against Yale. I think they're going to want to solidify their rotation. They're going to figure things out a bit better. They're not going to be looking to go deeper into the bench. So I don't think he's going to get quite the same usage rate. And also in the first 2 games, he's been under 2.5 rebounds anyway. So I think we got a bit of a square number here from Underdog. So give me the under on Jakari Harris rebounds.
I like it. Lower, 2.5 rebounds, Jakari Harris. Troy, number 2.
I'm going with an angle here in this McNeese Alabama game that McNeese is just too small and they're going to try to pack the paint and they're basically going to let Alabama shoot the 3. And Mark Sears is at 2.5 3-pointers made. Give me the higher on that.
That does seem low.
Yeah,
it's awfully low for him.
I was looking at his points and I think they had it at like 19.5, which makes sense. I think he's averaging right around that, but
around 20, yeah.
2.5 threes.
Even the points I like.
McNeese is just small, so they like to kind of play that no middle, and I don't think I would play no middle against a team that wants to bomb up as many threes as they can get off.
Agree.
Cap, leg number 3.
Okay, I'm going back to Purdue.
Okay.
This time, Trey Kaufman-Wren. Rebounds total at 6.5. We're going to go higher.
You're digging these rebounding props.
The square numbers here. He averages 7 per game this year. who else is going to pull down boards on that front line?
And the big fella's out, like you said.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't have anybody else.
Okay, so Kalkbrenner at Wren, 6.5 higher rebounds.
Yep.
And then Troy, bring us home with the fourth and final leg.
All right, we're looking over at Cam Jones for Marquette against Central Michigan. Marquette likes to play with pace. 4.5 assists. We're going higher than that. I see the athleticism and the size running a lot up and down the floor, and it's always more impressive in college when you see the guy distribute the ball. He's averaging 5.5, so you're getting a whole assist worth of value here, in theory. And I think they run a bunch, so higher than 4.5 for Cam Jones.
Get on over there for. Yeah, I like all four of these. I think this is hidden tonight, guys. Jakar Harris higher, 2.5 rebounds. Mark Sears higher, 2.5 threes. Kalkbrenner Wren higher, 6.5 rebounds, and then Cam Jones higher, 4.5 assists. 12-1 over there at Underdog Fantasy, and right above Troy's damn head right now. TCE SGPN is your promo code. The absolute best, man. They do great work for us, and we love Underdog. All righty, back over here on the college experience, and let's go over to Blacksburg, Virginia, where we got the Hokies coming in here, and are they still laying single digits? They are laying 9 here, so this number's ticked up from 8.5 last night. I think it's a buy low spot on Virginia Tech. They didn't cover on Friday night. They kind of look like shit. I think they bounced back here. I think Winthrop It played well against Arkansas Little Rock on Saturday. I don't think Virginia Tech's going to sleepwalk through this game. I actually like the Hokies laying the 9 here. Troy, how about you?
I kind of see the opposite here. I see Winthrop as a team that's 17th in pace of play, and Virginia Tech has Rex Steiner and Hammond as the only ball handlers that will probably get frustrated. I don't think this is a money line play, but I do think you take the points with Winthrop.
Okay, so we've seen Virginia Tech they beat down Delaware State and USC Upstate. Now they get Winthrop. This one's gonna be closer. I close one with Troy. Give me Winthrop in the points.
I've just seen enough little stretches from Virginia Tech where they've completely lost it for like a 4 or 5 minute period, and the way that Winthrop is going to pressure and try to go quick, I think that 1 or 2 of those stretches keeps them within the number.
So you guys are on Winthrop. I'm on the Hokies. I always feel like I'm kind of on an island liking the Hokies. So
should say I can't bet this one because I'm in Virginia. So just putting that out there.
Rex Steiner's brother plays wide receiver for Jacksonville State, and his father's also a pro wrestler.
Yeah,
it's legit.
That's like the Daniel Jones athletic family. That's why we drafted him so high.
Let's go to this one. McNeese, the Cowboys are taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Game of the night here in college basketball. This number, in my opinion, is ridiculous that it's this high. I think people now are overreacting that McNeese lost to South Dakota State. McNeese, this current number is at, 20.5? Oh, whoa. This thing just came down, 17.5.
17.
Ooh, I'm feeling good about my 20.5. Oh, I'm screwed. If I'm getting 3 points, Alabama's going to win by 30 now.
Be fading the line movement on this one as well.
Yeah. God damn it. The fucking line. Every time I have the line move 3+ points in my favor, I never win.
In that case, my handicap just got a lot easier.
I trust Will Wade in these bye games. I think he's going to throw some zone at Alabama tonight to slow it down, junk it up. They were good in bye games last year. They won at VCU outright by like 20. I think Alabama's feeling themselves a little bit from all the preseason hype. I think we also forget that Alabama didn't even win the regular season in the SEC. So Alabama's still got some holes defensively. I think McNeese is able to keep it within even at 17.5. So how about the Cowboys, my guy Will Wade?
I want to lay this one.
I do too. I co-sign with Troy.
McNeese is just too small. Like I said in the Underdog handicap, they're too small. They're going to be packing the paint. I think you're right about them maybe running a zone to try to muck it up, but I feel like that plays right into Alabama's hands. So I'm going to lay the 17. I'm going to fade this line movement. Now I feel good about not taking a better line because of how the line moved. The reverse Mac.
Yeah, I'm buying the reverse Mac trend here. Let's slate with Alabama.
Fuck, I swear to God, if I lose another one where the line moves, I will say Citadel's up 10, and that one did move 3 points from last night. We locked it in. I think it
Game ain't over yet, Mac.
Huh?
Game ain't over yet.
Yeah, I know it's not, but like, hey, at least they came out and they punched him in the mouth instead of getting punched. Yeah. So that actually line I think moved 3.5 that line moved 4 points, 4.5 because it went off at Citadel -3 from +1.5. So yeah, I'm fucked. Stetson's definitely coming back. I do see the troops in the background, so hopefully the troops can get us over the finish line. Next up on the slate, Yale, Purdue. This line has come down. I really like Yale here, man. I think Purdue is still trying to find themselves post Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think Braden Smith is an absolute stud. But offensively, I think they're a little bit of a work in progress. Yale already lost a game, so coming off that loss, double digits at UIC, I think you get a max effort focus spot here. And Yale's been good in these bye games over the year. They covered at the Fog last year. I think Mackey Arena, I think Yale loses by like 10 to 12. So I'll take the 14.5. That number has come down from 16.5 last night when we called it on the show. So, Troy, what do you think here?
I think if Yale keeps this within the number, then you almost have to take the under on the 144.5. I think Purdue's going to be more efficient, but this should be a pretty low possession game. They should be playing this at the Staples Center. Yale and Purdue, Staples galore.
There's a lot of white guys in this game.
There's a lot of white basketball there.
I was going to say, yeah, I think my favorite is just play the under, but 23 straight November games for Purdue since 2020 without a loss. So
they just scored 170 against you with UIC and quick math 150 against Quinnipiac. You got to play the over.
Math alert.
Yeah. Let them run it into the ground. You don't think it gets mucked up?
I don't think it gets mucked up at all. I think Purdue has to run.
Can they run? Have we seen them run all year? I need to see it from Purdue, this version of Purdue. I still think they're a good basketball team. I just think that this is a line that is more based off of reputation and brand name at this point.
Better athletes than Purdue, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yale.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have better athletes, but it's not far off. It's just Purdue had to replace 3 starters. I mean, Gillis going over to Duke and obviously Edey, his big fucking ass, and then his replacement, 7'4" giant, he's hurt now.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like Yale might be a little bit live in this game. I don't think they're going to win, but
you talked me into it. Let's go with Yale, 14.5.
Troy, could this be a first half bet on Yale? Off the loss,
maybe they would
on the road.
They would have to dictate the game right off the bat, though.
It's on the road too.
But yeah, it isn't Mackey. But I mean, what is their first half money line? Just
I was going to say, let's see it.
First half money line. Maybe 2 seconds. Money line plus 360.
Yeah, I was hoping for more than that. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I mean they're 8-1 for the whole game. I thought it'd be like 5-1. I still like Yale in the points for the game. 14.5, 16.5.
I think I just like the overall line in this one.
I still like that point total over. I think it's going to fly over.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You guys are rocking and rolling. Let's skip the chat. We'll come back to the chat. Guys, throw a couple more games in. I only see like 2 or 3 games in there. So make sure you throw in what game you want us to cover. I love this game. This is actually one of my favorite bets on the board here. Chattanooga laying 2.5 at Austin Peay. Dude, we got to fade Austin Peay.
Yes.
I'm a former governor. I worked at Austin Peay for 2 years. They just wanted Hinkle. They're coming back home, feeling themselves. Chattanooga played all right on the road. I mean, the USC game got away from them in the second half, but I thought they looked all right against St. Mary's. I think they're a little bit more healthy than they were last week. I like Chattanooga in a big way here tonight at Austin Peay. The Governors here. Give me the Mocs to lay the 2.5. Shop around.
Cosign. This is my biggest bet of the night.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Cap. I love it.
Yeah, the only thing I had written down was this has to be a letdown spot for Austin Peay, right? And then you see the line that's favoring Chattanooga on the road, basically telling you everything about this.
Yep. The line is telling you. This is a good example of that.
All right. A little surprised it hasn't moved up, but hey, sometimes you got to fade the line movement. You don't want it to move too much in your favor. It's a kiss of death. The Peacocks are taking on Rutgers. I'm going to yield to you guys on this one. I took St. Peter's last night on the show. I don't have a strong conviction. I don't know if I like Rutgers as much as everybody else yet, but I do know that they killed these teams at the rack. Cap, you're nodding your head. You like Rutgers? 16 and a half?
I think we checked on the show you checked on the history last night, and last year Rutgers won by like 36 or something.
Yeah.
Line's only 16 and a half. And this is a better Rutgers team. At least it's supposed to be on paper. It's a better Rutgers team.
Yeah.
On paper. Lay the 16 and a half with Rutgers. I think they at the rack. No, there's no way. St. Pete doesn't keep this close. Let's go.
Yeah, not only is this a better Rutgers team, but St. Peter's just gave up 81 to UMass Lowell.
Wow.
So not
UMass Lowell.
Is there is a bit of a difference between Rutgers at the rack and UMass Lowell, though. Like, I think as soon as Rutgers starts to get rolling, it's just going to be like a snowball down a hill.
I agree. Yeah. In the chat, Daquan the Great locks up Rutgers. I co-sign. Let's fucking go.
All righty, you guys. I'm still staying on the Peacocks, but it's not a lot of strong conviction from me on this. I do. There are some environments I get a little intimidated of. But let's go Peacocks. Lose by 15. This game is awful. Central Michigan's going to Marquette. Marquette is laying up to 27. I think it was 27 and a half last night.
What's the case for taking Central Michigan here?
It would just be calling off the dogs, right?
Yeah.
Or that would be the only case.
Yeah.
Or you just it's another fate of a Big East team in the big number. But I don't think Marquette is in that company. I'll lay it.
Yeah, you can see what Marquette really wants to do in that second half against George Mason when they started going a little bit quicker and really pulled away kind of easily. If you're afraid of the number, and again, I don't know how often guys are going to call off the dogs in matchups that aren't, old assistant coaches or like athletic director friends or something like that, because you can really skew your seed tournament time by blowing some of these teams out. But if you're worried about that 27 and a half, I think it goes over 149 and a half, just kind of how Capper talked to me out of the under in the Purdue game. I think you kind of see the same thing here. Marquette wants to run and wants to look good running. But I also think you can lay the 27 and a half.
My only concern there is that the team total for Central Michigan is 61 and a half. I don't know how they score 60 points against Marquette.
You're looking for Marquette to get to that 93 mark or something.
That's the case. I think I like the under on the Central Michigan team total, but I like the game over, if I'm honest. Central Michigan scored 74 at South Alabama. They scored 72 at home against Stony Brook, and now they get Marquette.
Yikes! All right, let's go over to the next game. This game is going to be fascinating. Caps, DePaul Blue Demons are at home against Mercer. Mercer is getting 8.5, so DePaul off a rare 40-point beatdown, in which I was on it over Prairie View. I think they might lose tonight, Cap. I think Mercer's live in this game. I like Ryan Ritter as a coach. Had him on the show in the summer. I think they're a little underrated coming into this game out of the SoCon. I think this could be a SoCon buy game upset. Give me Mercer, baby. The Bears, I think, are live here. I love this one.
I got a cosign. I'm sorry. DePaul, they got the lucky win against Southern Indiana opening night.
Yeah.
And then they managed to get the dub against Prairie View. I think this is where the luck runs out big time. This is not a good DePaul team.
It's
a poverty program.
Seeing this line move from about 6 to 8.5 and watching that DePaul almost lost to Southern Indiana based on missed free throws coming down the end means I can't lay 8.5 because that's where you're going to cover your spread as you make your free throws near the end. I think Mercer wins this game 74-70 straight up on the money line.
Yeah, I'm co-signing the money line.
3-1. We'll put this in our parlay at the end of the show. I added this segment with Trevor and Nick at the end where we give out our like a round robin or each of our favorite dogs and we put it in a round robin. So I think Mercer will make that at the end of the show. This next one may make it into the show because we got Pacific Hawaii on a back-to-back here. I know Pacific was as well. They played like North Pacific, a little MTE out there. Dude, call me crazy, Cap. I actually like this Pacific team from what I've seen early in the season. I think that they're much improved under Dave Smart. 3-0 on the year. They blew out San Jose State, and I think they're live. By the way, this number's only 3.5 for Hawaii at home, so I think that's telling as well.
The line last night for Hawaii was 4,
and it's come down.
Why?
And Hawaii's going to be public. We know that. Everybody loves betting on Hawaii.
True.
It's because it's a hard ticket to get there.
Right. Yeah, but this is the one. This is a game where it's not a hard ticket to get to Hawaii because Pacific's already been there.
Exactly. This is the one spot where you don't have to worry about
it's an easy ticket to get to Hawaii here. You just leave your hotel and you're already there.
I think Pacific wins outright. I'm buying into this Pacific team. 4-0 on the year, I think, after tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking you take this on the money line with Pacific too. They looked pretty good against San Jose State. And again, not a hard ticket this time. Already there. Not the typical travel spot you see in Hawaii. Got to be adjusted to the time zone by now, or at least significantly more than just a one-game travel. I think Pacific might win this game by like 4 or 5 points.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I mean, the line says it's going to be a hell of a game. Yeah, Cap, are you still in Hawaii?
Pacific, cosign.
All righty. Let's hit the chat real quick, and then we'll give out our favorite lock, dog, and best bets. Virtual. Grambling, plus 25.5 at Florida. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no feel on this one. I took Florida last night, but I don't know where the headspace is at with the coaching distraction.
According to Noah Bieniek, it's not going to be a distraction. It's been like well known, like internally for.
He don't know. He's biased.
What do I know? If he don't know, I really don't know. I gotta think they knew about it. Everybody in those programs knows everything about everybody. So
they knew about it.
I'm really not that. It doesn't. I mean, it's a concerning situation, but the play tonight isn't. I lay it with Florida. It's an SEC team versus SWAC team, correct?
Yeah.
SEC versus SWAC. You lay it. Come on.
You're right. It is my system. The SEC and Big 12 against the SWAC.
Yeah, they drill those teams.
Auto take. Troy, what's your thoughts on Florida?
I mean, I would lay it in this game too. This is one where I would almost think maybe you go Grambling first half and Florida to cover. Like you take the points with Grambling in the first half, and then they just get ran out of the building in the second half. But I don't know. This one could be really, really scary right off the bat. But I don't feel that bad about 25.5 with Florida.
Yeah.
Yapper.
Background, baby. A little
Yapper.
Yeah. Speaking of dogs,
if Grambling covers, it's not a yapper. I can tell you that. They are not a yapper. They're a big dog tonight. Let's talk this game. This game is actually maybe one of the more underrated games of the night. SMU, Andy Enfield, year number 1. That line's at 13.5. I kind of want to add. I didn't lock Greensboro last night. I kind of want to add that just with the. And I see who is it? Jeff Matthews in the chat saying the line freeze. I think I'm going to bet Greensboro plus 13.5. I think this is going to be one of the ones I add on the picks page right now. How about you?
I got a cosign. I like Greensboro on the spot. I mean,
how close do you think? How close do you think SMU is to Florida Gulf Coast, who UNC beat?
Program in FGCU.
Yeah,
well, for sure, but
Gulf Coast is kind of just a brand name just because of their NCAA tournament run that happened over a decade. Ironically, Andy Enfield
but are they
now?
Are they 22.5 points better than Florida Gulf Coast?
No.
I would take the 13.5.
Oh, okay. I was confused by your logic there. I thought you were making a case for SMU, and I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
I was following his logic. It made sense to me.
I follow it. Yeah,
tuck job. Patty C's tuck job.
I was going to say you pulled a fucking tuck job on me. Shout out to Patty.
Tuck job. They're going to be illegal in like 68 days or whatever.
Daquan, the great in the chat, are we laying it with Iowa State? Yeah, there's a bear shit in the woods. We're definitely going to lay it with Iowa State against fucking UMP.
They're going to by 50.
Minus 28.5. Lay it. Troy, I assume you're on that one as well.
Yeah, I will be laying it with the clones.
Frank asks in the chat, what do we think of Missouri and Eastern Washington? 18.5. That seems steep. I like E-Dub.
I feel like that's the case where I would take E-Dub and then really regret it about 15 minutes into that game.
Yeah. Shout out to this guy. He's got Grambling money line.
Hell yeah.
If the Grambling hits on the money line, you're fucking buying me drinks next time I see you, pal. Yeah. So Cronus Fakanzi or whatever. Nice. Thanks for tuning in, brother.
Game total 151.5 for EWU and Missouri. I'm kind of tempted by that over.
Okay. Are you going to be on E-Dub? I think I'm going to bet E-Dub. I'm adding E-Dub.
Let's go. I ride with Mac.
Get this Missouri shit out of here. They want Dennis Gates to be good so bad, but I can't trust him with that many.
E-Dub not in the SWAC. You can take the points.
Yeah, you can. They're not in the SWAC. Yeah, so it doesn't go against the system.
I think this is a trap spot for Mason here tonight. They played their asses off at Marquette, coming back home. I like Stony Brook. I think Stony Brook, Geno 4, keep it within 15 here tonight. Troy, I know you can't bet it because you're in Virginia. How about you?
I was thinking about driving over and seeing if I could go to this game, to be honest. That's
not a good idea.
8 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
It could be a bit of a letdown spot. I know they competed pretty well and then kind of got ran out by Marquette in the second half. That was the inaction of Colby's Hot Tub Nation, I believe, when he went to the hot tub and in a tie game, or maybe even George Mason had the lead, and by the time he came back, they were down like 16 or something. Yeah. But I like Tony Skinn. He came to one of my house basketball games when I was in 5th grade. That guy rules. Tony Skinn and Lamar Butler are my homies. Fowler and Campbell was there. And then maybe 2 months later, they were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So I think I'll take Mason.
Okay. Stony Brook. This is Stony Brook letdown spot, by the way.
Yeah, they did get the big win on the road.
The big win on the road at Central Michigan.
Hey, we added that last week on the pregame show. I was like, let's go, baby. My guy Geno Ford.
Late with George Mason. Come on, it's Stony Brook.
Oh, come on. You're hating on the spot. I'm not.
You lose by 20.
I'm not a believer in the Patriots. I'm biased against my local team. Oh yeah, Jeff and Elliot, they love G Webb, baby, plus 20 against Pitt. I already took a stab at that. It's from a situational spot. It's a great spot for Gardner Webb. I guess maybe not for them personally because they're coming off the NC Central win, but I think Luther's a good coach. Continuity in that program. Pitt's got West Virginia on deck.
Yep,
and whether you think West Virginia is good or not, I mean, it's still the brawl. So, I think 20 is a little steep.
Agree. Cosign.
Well, Mac's always gonna eat shit on Pitt.
Yeah, of course.
Is this a reverse Mac angle?
I can't wait till Pitt's losing with 8 minutes left, and then they somehow cover the 20.
I was gonna say. We've had some shitty luck on trying to the fade eat shit Pitt move in both football and basketball.
So you would take Pitt minus 20 and you take Winthrop plus what was it, plus 8 is the reverse Mac parlay.
The reverse Mac, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Actually, the tide has started to turn. Pitt's lost 2 in a row in football. Those fucking phonies lost to Virginia at home, and all they had to do was win, and they'd be in the ACC title game. You knew those. They got eliminated from the college football playoff before West Virginia. West Virginia has an 8% chance to make the playoffs still, in the Big 12 because if they went out and get some help, they can get in. So, yeah. How about that? Egypt, Pitt. We're still in it longer than you guys are, you freaking jabronis. Let's go. That does it for the chat. I think we pretty much touched on every single game. Let's get into best bets, and then we'll give out our parlay. And I do have one starred from our guy, Frank. I like Frank's moneyline parlay. I may throw it here in a minute. But, Cap, let me throw it over to you. Where do you want to go for your best bets tonight? What's your favorite place?
Take me to the rack.
Ooh,
I like 16.5 with Rutgers. Let's go.
Okay.
This Peacock bullshit out of here.
Let's go. Come on, Peacocks. Fuck Rutgers. I'm sick of all these Rutgers fans. I'm sick of all these Northeast schools. Troy, where are you going? What's your favorite play?
I put Alabama and Marquette together to both cover the big number.
Okay. So chalky night for Troy. Cap, you got another one that popped your eye?
Yeah, one that we didn't talk about. This is a mortgage bet right here.
Ooh.
Tulane is laying 21 against Alcorn.
I saw that number. I'm staying the fuck away.
Alcorn might be the worst program in the nation this year. And that's not a joke.
They're terrible.
They might be the worst program in the nation. Like legitimately. Like, LIU would beat them by 20.
You might be right.
So I think Tulane is 21 points better than the worst program in the country.
If you're looking for a late night game, I like North Dakota State bouncing back off that home loss at that fucked up blue court. Whatever the fuck that fucking rubber court is. Get that Bakersfield foo shit out of here. I like the Bison in that game. I think, man, I really like Chattanooga. That was up there for my
that's a really good one.
For one of my favorite. And then my second one was, well, it's Citadel right now because they're winning by double digits. Just kidding. I can't give that out as my second one. My second favorite play is going to be, I think it's going to be Iowa State. They didn't cover the other night. I think they're going to kill UMKC.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And I love backing the Big 12 in these bot games. They take it personal to just humiliate whoever the fuck they're playing. It's called manipulating the net, according to
who does Houston have next? Do we know?
Oh God, whoever they lay it.
It's Louisiana Lafayette going to Houston.
Lay it.
Pray for the Cajuns.
Lay it. Elliot, I like UT Martin to be live in that game. So yeah. I like Martin in that game.
I think UT Martin would have a shot. Money line.
Yeah.
Agreed. Dude, I think they're good. Shulman's a good coach from the JUCO level.
I was going to say the other best bet that I like is the more I look at it, I really like UNC Greensboro. Getting 13.5.
Yep.
Cosine. Yeah, that's a good one.
And then the Furman laying the 4.5 in the first half.
Okay.
We didn't talk about Texas A&M either. They're going to freaking drill Lamar.
I laid that too. Let's go moneyline parlay. Frank likes Jacksonville, Mercer, Pacific. I think we all liked all those sides.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to you, Troy. Which dog is going to win outright?
Mercer Bears.
Okay, so you got the Mercer Bears as the first leg of the parlay. Cap, where are you going for your leg?
I kind of like the UT Martin play.
Yeah.
Okay, I like where we're going. Should we just finish Frank's parlay and put Jacksonville? Or do we get really dicey? What if we go to Idaho? What if we go to Idaho Wazoo? Can Idaho beat Wazoo?
Maybe.
Plus 800. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a juicy ass one right there. All right, so Troy, where are we at? Troy went Mercer plus 300 on the money line. Cap, who'd you say again? You said
UT Martin.
UT Martin.
Time's that fucking game.
What about Pacific? Throw Pacific in there.
I think I may throw the Yapper in there. I'll be the person to throw the Yapper in there. You guys get the big ones. UT Martin plus 350. I'll throw the little Yap in there so that when you guys hit your first two legs, I'll be sweating out Pacific midnight. That's plus 135. That's 41-1. Mercer 3-1. UT Martin plus 350. Pacific plus 140. Let's go. Sitting tonight. We're gonna hit this dog parlay.
Skip rich.
Yes, let's go. Another pregame show in the books. Action starting here in 13 minutes, or it's already started tonight. The Citadel's up 12. Ohio State is up 13. Both games closing in on halftime. The Citadel actually did just go to halftime. Games tipping off here at 7 o'clock. Alabama, McNeese, Grambling, Florida, Rutgers, St. Pete. We got Marshall, Southern Indiana, Stony Brook, Mason, Pitt, Gardner-Webb, Buffalo, Notre Dame, E-Dub, Missouri, Butler, Western Michigan, and many more. Appreciate you guys rocking with us in the chat every single night. Reminder, 6 o'clock Eastern, we will do this pregame show. Cap and Troy will be back tomorrow with me. Same crew, and we will do this every single night. All we ask is you go leave a 5-star review over at Spotify, like, subscribe, tell a friend over at YouTube. That's all we got. He is at Troy Chewning. He's at Cannabis Capper. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. We'll see you guys, later tonight and tomorrow night as well on the pregame show. This is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we are out of here.